On this day, the pups had discovered all kinds of things. Dilly found out that if you put too many ice cubes in your soup, it tastes yucky. Farrah and Smudge learned that when you're making dough, if some of the flour ends up on your nose, you'll probably sneeze. Tanker found out that it can be tricky to get tape out of the dispenser. Farrah was making no-bake cookies in the kitchen. Dilly, Tanker, and Smudge decided to play with the building blocks, and they were having a great time until Dilly, who was making a huge castle, needed more and more blocks. Once she took hers, there weren't very many left for Tanker and Smudge. 5, to be exact. Tanker pointed out that she should share, and she nodded, but she kept building the castle up higher and higher. When she snatched a cylinder block from Smudge, he said that the blocks belonged to all of them. And Dilly was so busy trying to make her castle magnificent, she didn't give it back. Now, I have to say that Smudge and Tanker couldn't do much with only a few blocks. They looked at Dilly's big castle. It was fabulous. But they would have liked to have built something really neat of their own. They did ask Dilly if maybe they could help her, but she just shook her head. She wanted to do it all by herself. Smudge and Tanker shrugged and built a little block bridge between them. Neither of them was very excited about it. Just then the alarm rang. The pups whizzed down the pole as fast as they could. Dilly was sad to leave her spectacular castle, but a pup has to do what a pup has to do. She flew down the pole and jumped onto me as fast as she could. We raced over to Amidetti Aunt's house. Her mom told us that Amidetti had got a big bottle of bubble bath for her birthday, and instead of sharing it with her 16 brothers and sisters, she decided to use it all at once. She poured the entire bottle into the bath, and now she was lost in a sea of bubbles. The problem was a bit tricky because ants are tiny. And if the pups let the water out of the tub, Amidetti might just go down the drain with the bubbles. Then Farrah thought of a perfect idea. Armed with toothpicks, the pups jumped into bubble-bursting action. At first, there was no sign of Amidetti, but as the bubbles popped, Smudge spotted her, and soon the rescue was complete. Wrapped in an ant-sized towel, Amidetti started to feel better right away. She told her mother that the next time she'd share the bubble bath, and all 16 brothers and sisters cheered. Back at the station, Dilly invited everyone to see her fantastic castle. Farrah gasped. It was quite a sight. I just couldn't help tooting my horn when I looked in the window. It was great. Smudge and Tanker agreed. We even took a picture. Then everyone went down to test Farrah's cookies. They were delicious. And the pups were about to draw some pictures when I asked them to tidy up the blocks first. Dilly was starting to put the blocks away when Tanker and Smudge came into the room. In 2 seconds, their job was done, but Dilly had to keep going. After all, she had used a lot of blocks. Downstairs, Farrah, Smudge, and Tanker drew every funny face they could think of, and they laughed at each other's pictures. Up in the toy room, Dilly could hear them and wished that she could be there laughing too. She looked at her castle, and although she'd been putting blocks away for a while, there were still lots more to go. Lots and lots, actually. Dilly got back to work. When the pictures were put up all over the kitchen and the markers were put away, Smudge, Tanker, and Farrah decided to go out for an ice cream. They asked if Dilly was ready to go, but I have to say she was nowhere near finished. And she told them so. The 3 pups went on ahead. Dilly watched them leave, and I don't think she was at all happy. At the ice cream shop, Tanker had a triple whipple blueberry jammer. And Smudge had a chocolate choc chips ice cream cookie. And Farrah had a dream, cream, and caramel float. Everyone loved their treat. At the station, Dilly was almost done. There seemed to be a whole lot more blocks when you're putting them away than when you're taking them out. It was too bad she didn't have any help. As she put the last one away, she thought about the times Tanker and Smudge had asked her for more blocks. She remembered how they asked if they could help and how she had told them no. She had wanted to use all the blocks and she wanted to build the castle all by herself. But right now, that didn't seem like the best idea. Dilly came down and sat on my bumper. She'd had fun building the castle, all right, but she sure didn't have any fun putting it all away. I told her that maybe next time she should share them more and have help with the tidying up. She looked at me with a tired smile. She was thinking that too. Anyway, she said, Smudge knew how to make some really nifty turrets. Dilly leaned back into me and sighed. Sometimes figuring out the best thing to do could be tiring. At that moment, the others came back. Dilly apologized for not sharing the blocks. Tanker and Smudge smiled at her, so did Farrah. Then, from behind Tanker's back, they produced a great, big, slightly melted cherries go wild sundae with licorice and coconut. Dilly was really happy that the pups had remembered her. And I hope one day when it comes time for you to share, you remember that things done together are a lot more fun. I know you'll make your friends very happy if you do.
Here's some things that are fun to do. Fun for the friends who play with you. Fun for a bunch or just for two. Fun for me and fun for you. Like jumping in the fall leaves. You can make a shower of leaves or pile them into a mountain and jump right in. Just be sure that someone isn't raking them up at the time.